In this video, I'll uncover the best sleep position for you to sleep in so that you can get the most restorative sleep possible. It's no secret, millions of people are struggling with their sleep, and unfortunately when you start to struggle with your sleep, your whole health starts to struggle because sleep is one of the key foundational elements to good quality health. Now the thing is not only are people not sleeping well, but they're also waking up in the morning with a lot of aches and pains and just not feeling well at all. So in this video, what we're going to discuss is not only the importance of sleep, but also what's the best position to sleep in, because depending on you as an individual, there may be a better position out there. And of course, there's the worst ones, which we'll talk about towards the end of this video, that you must avoid. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, it's a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, join our notification community. That way I can help you excel your health and your life. So let's go ahead and talk about why sleep is so important. This is, like I said, sleep is absolutely critical and a key foundational element to good health, as I mentioned. Now, does a lack of sleep have a negative impact? Then the answer is yes. I mean, absolutely. Now, first of all, it's going to cause a weakened immune system. Okay, so if you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to be that person who gets the cold every time it comes through. You're going to get the flu. You're going to get, fevers. Everything. Every time somebody is sick around you, coworker, family member, you're going to get it because you're going to have a weak immune system if you're not getting enough sleep. Inability to concentrate is another big one, and we'll just tie that in with poor memory because they really go together. I mean, I can tell you beyond shadow of a doubt, when I do not get enough sleep, that I'm unable to concentrate and my memory is like absolutely horrible. So if you are not getting enough sleep, basically connections aren't made in the brain doesn't restore overnight, and as a result, your brain just doesn't function well. And so it also opens the gateway to inflammation and everything else in the brain. So we have to make sure that we're getting enough restorative sleep at night. So important, can't stress it enough. Also weight gain, and the reason for this is because, well, we'll talk about it in a second here, but one of the reasons for this is because you're going to get a lot of more cortisol going through the body. You're going to have a lot more stress in the body, a lot more physiological stress, a lot more cortisol. As a result, you're going to get that weight gain associated with lack of sleep. This is one of the things that's very frustrating for people who are trying to lose weight. If you're getting a lack of sleep, then you just start to actually gain it. Next here is high blood pressure. I mean, I've had people time and time again tell me that if they are looking at their sleep, let's say they're tracking it and they're getting bad sleep day after day, essentially what happens is their blood pressure starts to rise. So we want to make sure we're getting enough sleep in order to keep our blood pressure low. Increased risk of diabetes. And the reason for this is because people who have poor quality sleep, they are also the same people who typically have higher blood sugar. Okay, there's actually studies out there that correlate low sleep, high blood sugar, increased risk of weight gain, right? Because it's going to raise insulin levels, that's going to put fat on the body, it's going to cause weight gain, but also increasing your risk of diabetes. Also, low sex drive, okay, because this is going to lower hormones like testosterone. You know, if you're a guy, you're not getting enough sleep, putting that extra stress in the body, lowering testosterone levels. Increased risk of heart disease as well, okay? Your cardiovascular system needs that restorative sleep at night, very important. And also, like, check out this here, because when I look at sleep, it's very important for me to make sure that I'm getting good quality sleep, and I can measure my sleep using this device right here. And this device right here tells me everything I need to know about my sleep. It's actually telling me how many hours I sleep. It's actually giving me a rating as to the quality of it. It shows me, you know, if I'm getting into REM sleep or not. Was it light sleep? Was it deep sleep? It goes through and really tells me everything I need to know about my sleep. It even tells me my heart rate variability. And then the next morning basically says, hey, you know what, your sleep was very restorative. You can go hard today, or you should take it easy, whatever I need to do. So utilizing a device in order to actually track your sleep is really powerful because, like I said, you know, if you don't know if you're having good quality sleep, then it's a problem. And I specifically say good quality sleep because it's not just about how much time you spend in your bed. Like, you may spend 8 hours a night in your bed, but maybe you were hardly sleeping for any of it. You know, you could be sleeping for 5 hours of that. And so we want to make sure that we're getting good restorative sleep. And the other reason it's important to make sure that we're tracking it is because we can actually start to make changes, right? If we, you know, lower the temperature in the room, change our sleep position, use a different type of blanket, we start changing things, we're able to determine if our sleep got better or worse, and that's when we start kind of like hacking into our own sleep. Okay, so make sure that if you're someone who's looking to improve your sleep quality, that you use some sort of device to track it. I'll put a link to the one I use in the description. Next is the positions, okay? We want to talk about sleep positions because it's very important. Now, the back sleeper, okay? When you should sleep on your back, and of course, when to avoid it. So if you are someone who has low back pain, the back sleeping is more positive for you, okay? So this is something that works well typically for people with low back pain. And now the best way to sleep on your back. Now, if you're laying on your back, what we want to do is we want to actually take some pressure off of the low back by putting a pillow or a bolster, something under our knees. So if we're sleeping on our back, we want to put something under our knees in order to take that pressure off the low back. Now, the other thing that we have to make sure that we're doing is if we're sleeping on our back, that we're not having a pillow that is really pushing our head forward, okay? We do not want that because it's going to cause neck pain. And that's one of the reasons you would actually avoid sleeping on your back, and that's if you had neck pain, okay? There's a couple reasons that we don't want to sleep on our back. If we have neck pain, if we are someone who has sleep apnea, it can actually make it worse by closing down the airways. If we're someone who snores, or if we're someone who has like a herniated disc in our neck as well. So those are all reasons that you aren't going to want to sleep on your back, but in general, back sleeping is considered one of the best ways to sleep. And so if you fall into this category where it works for you, then certainly by all means do it. But it's important to make sure that you're using the proper methods. Pillow under the knees, and make sure that you're not tilting your head forward with a pillow that's just pushing your head too high. We want to make sure that we're just supporting the cervical curve here, but not lifting our head up too high. Let's go ahead and talk about the side sleeper, okay? This is really positive for people who have neck pain, okay? I am someone who typically is prone to neck pain, so sleeping on my side is typically a better option for me. Because if I sleep on my back, I wake up with all kinds of neck pain. Now, the best way to sleep on your side. So the best thing to do when sleeping on your side is to make sure that you put a pillow between your legs, right around your knees, okay? And the reason for that is because you don't want to sleep on your side with your pelvis all twisted, your low back all twisted, and putting all that pressure on the low back because it could cause some hip pain, some low back pain. So we want to make sure that we're putting that pillow between the legs. And then the other thing that we want to do is make sure that our pillow is supporting us properly, right? So let's say if this is our bed over here, we don't want to be having a pillow that's too low where our neck is like this, and we don't want a pillow that's too high that's pushing our neck to the other direction, okay? So we really want to make sure that when we're sleeping on our side, we're keeping our neck as straight as possible. So when we sleep on our pillow, our neck should be in the same position as it is when we're standing up straight. And so that's going to be the best thing there. So make sure that you add in those proper techniques. Now, a few things to consider. If you're someone who has like GERD, if you're someone who has acid reflux, you're going to be better off sleeping on your left side, okay? So if you are suffering from those issues, sleep on your left side. The other thing that we have to be careful of, like I said, if you have like a herniated disc, something of that nature, you'll typically find that you are able to sleep on one side better than the other. Whatever side is best for you, make sure you're sleeping on that particular side. So side sleeping is considered good as well, just as long as you're using the proper techniques to do so. Next, let's talk about stomach sleeper, okay? So the stomach sleeper is not considered a good position to sleep, okay? Now, it's considered the worst of the three positions we're talking about here. And the reason for it is because when you're sleeping on your stomach, you are literally going to set the path up for more back pain and more neck pain. When you're sleeping on your stomach, typically you're really closing down the facets in your lower spine. As a result, your lower spine can tighten up and cause a lot of pain for you, okay? Now, the other thing is when you're sleeping on your stomach is that you're likely going to have your head cranked in some funny position like this all night or something along those lines. And as a result, you wake up with a very stiff neck, okay? So sleeping on your stomach is not considered good. The other thing is that you're going to find that you're more prone to having breakouts on your face if you're sleeping on your stomach all the time and just pressing your face into the pillow. So a couple things to consider there, but stomach sleeping is not generally considered good. It's usually back sleeping is the best. Side sleeping is going to be second best, and then just stay away from stomach sleeping. Now, I want to tell you too, when you try to actually start changing your sleep positions, and I'm telling you from just my own personal story here, when you start trying to change your sleep positions, it can be very difficult. I used to be a stomach sleeper, and when I realized how bad that was for you, I stopped doing it, but I'd wake up all the time sleeping on my stomach. And so, it's going to take time to change, but you just keep picking away at it, and eventually you'll find yourself not sleeping on your stomach or your back or whatever position it is that you just kind of, go to in the middle of the night without even knowing it. So you're going there unconsciously. But, I find myself, like I said, I would wake up in the middle of the night, I'd be on my stomach again, I'd get back on my side, reposition. And that's really what you have to do. But it's important to make sure that you're sleeping properly in order to avoid a lot of discomfort and also get the most restorative sleep. Last thing I want to mention here is if you're someone who wakes up every morning, you're in neck pain, you have neck pain, you have back pain, essentially what you want to do is really look to your pillow and look to your mattress, okay? If your pillow and mattress is of low quality, or maybe it's too soft, it's too hard, whatever, then you're going to wake up with pain every single day. Millions of people wake up with pain every day. If you can correlate your pain to waking up with it and then it goes away throughout the day, there's a good chance there's a problem with pillow or mattress, so look into that. I'll put links to the pillow and mattress I use in the description if that's something you want to look further into, because I'm a big fan of making sure that you have good quality stuff here. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section here below. Also be sure to share this video with your friends, and then if you have any questions, put it in the comment section down here below. Be sure to subscribe, and then lastly, hit that bell notification so you never miss a piece of new content. And check out my other videos over here that are going to help you improve your health. I'll see you in the next video.